Imagine a school system with almost no standardized testing, where kids start school at age 7, homework is rare, and teachers are treated with the same respect as doctors or lawyers. And here's the kicker. Despite all of that, or maybe because of it, students in this country consistently score among the highest in global rankings. Welcome to Finland. Today on the Gadget Grid, we're breaking down why Finland's education system is considered the best in the world, and what lessons we can learn from it to transform how we educate future generations. The philosophy that changed everything. Let's go back to the 1970s. At that time, Finland's education system wasn't exceptional. In fact, it was quite average by global standards. But then came a radical shift. Instead of copying systems from other countries, Finland decided to build one based on values like equity, trust, and well-being. The goal? Not to be the best in the world, but to make sure every child had a fair and meaningful chance to succeed. And that philosophy, grounded in human development instead of competition, is the foundation of everything else. Equality before excellence. In most countries, education systems are tiered. Some schools are elite, others struggle. Not in Finland. The Finnish government guarantees every child the same quality of education, no matter where they live or what their background is. There are no private schools in the way most people understand them. And competition between schools? Virtually non-existent, because schools are not businesses. They're public institutions meant to serve communities, not markets. The result? The smallest performance gap between the strongest and weakest students in the developed world. Finnish schools aren't built to serve the top 1%. They're built to lift everyone. Teachers are treated like experts. In Finland, becoming a teacher is not a backup plan. It's one of the most competitive and respected career paths you can choose. All Finnish teachers must have a master's degree, and they're selected from the top 10% of university graduates. But the training isn't just academic, it's rooted in real-world pedagogy, classroom research, and child psychology. And here's what's really different. Once they're trained, teachers are trusted. There's little to no micromanagement, no heavy-handed bureaucracy. Teachers create their own lesson plans. They decide how to engage students. They innovate, they experiment, and the system supports them. So when you hear someone say teachers need more autonomy, know this: Finland already proved it works. Starting later, learning faster. Here's something that shocks people from more test-driven cultures. Finnish children don't start formal schooling until they're 7 years old. But instead of falling behind, they actually leap ahead. Why? Because the early years are focused on play, emotional development, and social skills. Kindergarten is not for drilling math or memorizing facts. It's for building curiosity, confidence, and creativity. By the time Finnish children start school, they're mentally and emotionally ready to learn. And they learn fast, without the pressure cooker of early academics. Less testing, more learning. Finland's education system has almost no standardized testing. The only national test is at the very end of high school, and even that is optional. Teachers do assess students, of course, but they do it formatively. That means feedback is ongoing, constructive, and used to guide teaching, not rank students. There are no league tables, no endless drills, no teaching to the test. And yet, despite this, Finland consistently ranks in the top tier of the Program for International Student Assessment, PISA, particularly in reading and science. Less testing, better outcomes. That's not a contradiction. It's a redefinition of what education can be. Shorter days, longer impact. Finnish students spend less time in school than students in almost any other developed nation. On average, about 4 to 5 hours a day, and even less in the early grades. And the homework load? Minimal. In fact, in many schools, it's almost non-existent until the later years. This shorter schedule isn't laziness, it's strategy. It gives students time to explore interests, spend time outdoors, and develop as whole people. Studies show that cognitive focus drops after about 45 minutes of continuous learning. Finland's school day is built around these natural rhythms, interrupted by frequent breaks, outdoor time, and even naps for younger kids. A system built on trust, not surveillance. In many systems, schools are burdened by bureaucracy, data collection, inspection regimes, surveillance metrics. Finland flipped that script. There are no inspectors, no standardized accountability metrics, no national ranking of schools. Instead, the system is built on trust. Policymakers trust schools, schools trust teachers, teachers trust students. And what happens when you remove fear from the classroom? Creativity flourishes, collaboration increases, and students learn not just what to think, but how to think. Support for every student. In Finland, the idea of falling behind is seen not as a failure of the student, but a signal that the system needs to adapt. Schools are equipped with robust student support teams, psychologists, special education teachers, counselors, and learning assistants. These professionals don't wait until a student fails. They intervene early, with personalized support plans tailored to each child's needs. And because stigma around learning difficulties is low, students feel safe asking for help without shame. No tuition, no barriers. From preschool to PhD, education in Finland is free. That includes not only tuition, but also textbooks, transportation, and school meals. Yes, you heard that right. Every Finnish student receives a free, hot lunch every day, no questions asked. Why? Because the government sees education as a right, not a privilege. And poverty should never be a barrier to learning. The result? More equitable outcomes, better student engagement, and a higher rate of university attendance across social classes. Section 10. Lifelong learning culture. Finland doesn't just educate children, it cultivates a lifelong learning society. Adult education programs are widely available and publicly funded, whether it's retraining for a new career, picking up a new language, or learning a digital skill. Citizens of all ages are encouraged to keep growing. In a rapidly changing world, Finland understands that education doesn't stop at graduation. It evolves with you. Section 11. Mental health and student happiness. According to OECD reports, Finnish students are among the least stressed in the world. That's not a coincidence. Finnish schools promote emotional well-being as a priority. From early years to graduation, students receive social-emotional education, conflict resolution training, and peer support. Classrooms aren't rigid or authoritarian. They're calm, collaborative, and human-centered. And because teachers aren't overloaded with testing demands, they have more time to actually connect with students, building relationships that matter. Section 12. Recess is sacred. In most Finnish schools, students get 15 minutes of recess after every 45 minutes of instruction, even in winter, even in sub-zero temperatures. Why? Because movement resets the brain. It improves memory, focus, and mood. While other countries are cutting recess to fit in more class time, Finland protects it as essential to learning. The science backs them up. Section 13. Technology with a purpose. Finnish schools embrace technology, but not for the sake of being trendy. Digital tools are used intentionally to support collaboration, access to information, and student expression, not to replace books or teachers. And every use of tech in the classroom is evaluated for its impact on learning, not just its wow factor. It's not about the newest gadget, it's about thoughtful integration. Section 14. Schools as community anchors. Many Finnish schools serve as community centers, offering services to families, hosting events, and staying open beyond school hours. They're not just places for academics, they're spaces for connection, growth, and shared responsibility. This creates a powerful dynamic: schools that reflect the values of the society around them, and societies that take active ownership of their schools. Final thoughts. What can we learn? So, what can other countries learn from Finland? Is it about copying their model, word for word? Not quite. It's about rethinking our priorities, about asking what school is really for. Is it about test scores and rankings? Or about building capable, compassionate, and curious citizens? Finland shows us that less pressure can lead to more learning, that trust can be more powerful than control, and that equity isn't a compromise, it's a catalyst for excellence. Education isn't a factory, it's a garden. And if we want it to grow, maybe we need to stop measuring so much and and start nurturing more.